Hey everyone, so I'm here at a listing getting ready to show some clients a house, and I got here super early, but better to be early than late. You know how New York traffic is. And with a few moments to spare, I thought to myself, what more of a perfect time to make a quick video for you all. If you're thinking of becoming a real estate agent, or if you already are a real estate agent and you're tired of your current broker, then this video is going to be perfect for you, because you're going to be having to interview different brokers and find out which one's going to be the best fit for you. This video is going to cover the 10 essential questions for you to ask your brokers as you're doing your interviews to find out which broker is going to be the most qualified to make you the best agent that you can be. Hi, my name is Chris Chandler. I'm your local real estate agent here in Queens, New York and surrounding areas. Here to bring you all the latest on everything real estate and investing. Welcome to my channel. So first of all, before you even speak to anyone, you have to remember that if you as an individual are motivated, like it doesn't matter if you have a lot of experience in real estate or sales or anything yet, as long as you're motivated, you know you're going to be hardworking, you know that eventually you're going to be a great asset to the team that you just decide to join, you have to remember that you are going to be the valuable asset to this team that you're going to be joining. Therefore, this is more so an interview where you are going to be the interviewer and the other side is going to be the interviewee. You're the one who has all the upper hand. You're going to be deciding which brokerage you want to join, and they are going to be trying to convince you that they're the best fit for you. All right, let's jump right into it. So the first question, and arguably the most important question that you want to ask, especially if you're a new agent or maybe if you've been out of the game for a while, is how's the mentor program? That's question number one. And when you're asking this, you want to make sure that you get a good elaboration of, is there even a mentor program? Is it legit? How are you going to find that out? This is all going to be under question number one still. How is it that you're going to actually learn? Is it just going to be courses? Is it going to be prior videos that a team leader has created for you to just watch and catch up on? Are you going to be learning directly from one individual? How are you going to get in contact if you have questions when you're on the field? Question number two, what benefits or uniqueness does your brokerage have to offer? Now, super important on this question, if you don't see the person that you're interviewing, if you don't see them begin to light up, stand up and walk away, because they need to be super excited about what makes their brokerage different. They need to know this off the top of their head, because if they're active and they're on the field, they're getting this question all the time from other clients, buyers and sellers. They need to definitely be ready to express to you as a onboarding agent what sets them apart from the competition. This question will really help you to get a feel on the vast knowledge and hopefully positive energy that this team is going to be able to offer. Essential question number three. Now this might feel a little uncomfortable asking, but go ahead and ask it because everyone else is. And although it shouldn't be a deal breaker, this is good information that you're going to have to know when in the future you're doing your comparisons. And that's going to be, what's the commission split? You keep 70% of the commission and the brokerage keeps 30%. Most brokerages that you go to, this fee is going to be negotiable. There's not really a set, it has to be this fee. There are some exceptions, but most of the time it's negotiable. It depends on your experience as a real estate agent. It depends on what they have to offer you and how you can benefit from those services. But the main takeaway is that the more commission that you're giving to the brokerage, that's okay, but you want to make sure that you're receiving something back, since you are sacrificing your commission. And generally, the more commission that you keep, the less help you're going to get from the brokerage. When I first started, it was imperative to me that I had a very good mentorship and a good learning structure and a good support team. Therefore, I was willing to give a lot of my commission. So eventually, you're standing on your own 2 feet very comfortably, then you can negotiate maybe not being on a team and being an individual, keeping most of your commission. In addition to the split, you want to find out what the cap is. And the commission cap is just once you make a certain amount of sales and you give a certain amount of money to your brokerage, you're going to be able to keep 100% of your proceeds instead of giving away 30 or 25% to the brokerage. So you want to find out what are the commission splits and what are the caps. Question number 4. Now this one's tied into question number 1 in the sense that question number 1, you're going to be finding out how are you going to be learning, who's going to be your mentor, stuff like that. Now, once you do find a mentor, if they have one, which I highly recommend if you're just getting started, you want to find out how long have they been in the business and how long have they been active. Now, there are pros for people who have been in the business for a long time and pros for people who are a little bit newer, we'll say younger to the business. You want to find out if they're still focusing on selling or if they're focusing more on training and recruitment and stuff like that. Both can be totally fine, you just want to know what you're getting into. The pros of going under someone's wing who's seasoned is that now they've got some serious skin in the game. Most likely they're going to really know what they're talking about, they're going to know what they're doing, they're going to have systems in place to help you be successful, and they're going to know the ropes, they're going to know how the real estate business works. So yeah, you might be thinking, but they've been in the business for 15, 20 years, things change. Well, a good real estate agent is going to keep up with those changes and keep up with how to do their business in the most efficient way. But the most important thing is that we're in the business of helping people. We're in the business of helping people make the buying and selling process easier. And that doesn't change. Also, working with someone who's seasoned is that they're going to have a proven track record. So they've been here for a little while, they're most likely going to be here for a little bit while after that, or at least long enough for you to get your feet on the ground. Now you might be thinking, oh man, I definitely want to work with someone who's seasoned. Forget working with anybody who's young, doesn't know what they're doing. Now you may have a point, but hear me out. So definitely don't work with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. But there are some pros of working with someone who's younger to the business. And the biggest thing that I like is that they're going to be hungry for success. They're going to have the energy to put in the extra hours and time to do what they need to do in order to elevate to that next level, which is what you also need to be doing. So being around that positive, hungry energy, I think is going to have a very good impact on you, especially as a newer agent when everything's new and fresh and overwhelming. It's going to be easy to think, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. But when you're around somebody who's like just went through that, but is keep pushing, hopefully you can use that to keep the fire burning in your bosom. I'm gonna keep that.
Bosom.
Should I keep it?
Sure.
Okay. On top of your burning bosom, both of you are going to have a lot of the same goals, which will help you be able to relate with each other. And nobody knows everything about the business, especially someone who's younger. So you both can be learning and growing together. And with your younger to the business mentor, everything's going to be still fresh in their mind. Questions that you might ask them, they might be thinking, oh yeah, I just learned that and studied that and got really into the nitty-gritty with that about a month or two ago. So everything's still fresh, which hopefully means that they'll be up to date on the latest technology and how to accomplish your real estate goals in the most efficient way possible. Now this is for if you're actually interviewing the person who's going to be teaching you. You want to find out how many agents are in their office. How many agents are they currently mentoring? What's the age range of all of them? And what's the strategy for success? You want to make sure that the mentor actually has enough time for you. Of course, you don't want to be completely depending on them to do all the work for you, but you want them to be available when you have questions. And you want them to actually be able to sometimes sit down and thoroughly explain information and processes to you. I can't tell you how many people I've run into where they say that they've had a mentor and they were counting on them to help them be successful, and they end up wanting to quit the business because the mentor doesn't answer calls, or they'll get back to them a lot later, and by the time they get back to them, maybe the new agent just missed out on a deal that they could have had. So you want to make sure that your potential mentor is able to allocate enough time and attention to your needs, whatever that may be for you. Pregunta número 6. Now this is going to be another question that's not super important, but it's going to be good for you to know. And this is going to be, what are the fees? I'm talking desk fees, monthly, yearly. I'm talking CRM fees. Do you have to be a realtor? What are your realtor fees going to look like? Business cards? What kind of financial support are they going to give you? Can you use the office for printing, etc.? You just want to find out what fees you're going to have to be responsible for, how they're going to help you, and how you need to help yourself. Numero 7. Are they going to give you help with leads? Careful. A lot of mentors or recruiters are going to tell you stuff like, oh yeah, we're going to give you so many leads. We're going to give you so many leads, you're going to be swimming in them. You're not going to know what to do with all these leads. Wait just a minute. We want to know, how exactly are we going to get these leads? And we want to find out the quality of these leads. Eventually, you want to be able to generate your own leads. But as a new agent, it's nice. It's nice to get leads. Generally, if you're going to be getting leads from some kind of online campaign or some kind of online generated source, most of the time, these leads are not going to be very good. So if you're going to be swimming in a bunch of not very good leads, then you're basically going to be swimming in a bunch of debt because you're paying all these fees and not getting any business. What is a good lead going to look like? Well, a good lead is going to be a lead from an agent, maybe from your mentor, who has a lead but just doesn't have enough time and has to pass it down to you. Or a lead from a company like Zillow or Realtor, someone who called these companies actively looking for a home to buy, and you're the guy or gal that the company is referring to help out this potential client. So find out exactly how you're going to be getting those leads and try to use your best judgment on, is this actually going to be quality versus quantity? So the next essential question that you want to ask, we're on number 8 now for those of you keeping track, is going to be, what type of real estate are they focusing on? The main types of real estate are going to be residential, commercial, which can be business and residential, or retail. And each of these will be fine. They've all got their similarities, but they're kind of totally different worlds. So it's okay to dip your toe into different ones and see what you enjoy better. There's often a lot of misconception that commercial and business real estate is a lot harder. It's not necessarily harder, it's just different. And it depends on, if you're a numbers guy or if you're more comfortable with working with emotions. And it seems like this would be a topic for another video. Just find out what they focus on. Residential is the most common. That's your single family, multifamily properties. And make sure that it's the right fit for you. Number 9, do they focus on buyers or sellers or both? I don't really feel that any further elaboration is needed on that one. And number 10, also not super important because most brokerages are going to all use the same thing. And this is, what kind of listing agreement do they use? And are you going to be considered an independent contractor? Most of the time when I asked these questions during my interviews, they looked at me like, what? Because it's so uncommon for a brokerage to use anything other than an exclusive listing agreement contract or an exclusive buyer representation contract, which are the keywords you want to listen for. But you never know. If you're going to be interviewing a smaller business, a mom and pop real estate agency, then it's always good to get this information verified. And now, what would a top 10 video be without a couple of extra tips? So the first tip is, consider the benefits of an online brokerage versus a brick and mortar brokerage. Luckily, I already have a complete video just on that. Link down below! Okay. Another tip is maybe if you don't feel like you have the time or the commitment to just dive into being a full service real estate agent, consider being on a team as maybe a seller's agent or just a buyer's agent or a prospecting agent. So instead of having the load of doing everything, you can just focus on sellers or just focus on buyers. You'll most likely be working with a few other agents. You can see the way that they handle things that are outside of your category, and you should get the best one-on-one training on how to be a seller's agent. And they're going to want you to be a super good seller's agent because you're going to be bringing business to them, or a buyer's agent, or even as simple as a house shower. You can just be the one that goes to the house and shows clients a house. And you don't even really have to show a client a house. You just open the door, turn on the lights, let them see it. When they leave, turn off the lights, you're out of there. But if you decide to go this route, make sure that you're paying attention to the other parts of the business, because eventually you want to be able to do all this yourself, and eventually you want to be the person that's training other agents how to do all of these things. All right, so with all those 10 questions, you should have all the information that you need to find the best brokerage for you that's going to help you go out there and crush it as an agent, hit all your goals. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below or reach out to me personally. I always respond to all of my inquiries or calls or texts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, even though I know statistically about 80% of you still won't do it. But I'm happy as long as this video can help a few of you become better agents or get started on taking your first step to becoming an amazing agent. And until next time, I'm Chris Chandler. Have a great day.